Have you ever wondered what guided the hands of ancient civilizations? What steered the fates of entire tribes long before written history? We often think of history in terms of kings, battles, and empires. But what if the most powerful force was something unseen? Something whispered on the wind, etched in stone, and passed down through generations. Today. Today, we journey back in time to uncover the forgotten spiritual beliefs and ancient prophecies that didn't just predict the future, but actively shaped it. These weren't just campfire stories. They were the very blueprints for survival, the moral compass, and the driving force behind migrations, alliances, and the rise and fall of entire communities. Join me as we explore how these mystical forces were the true, overlooked architects of history for so many of our ancestors. Let's begin by stepping into a world where the spiritual and the physical were not separate, but deeply intertwined. For many ancient tribal communities, from the plains of North America to the jungles of the Amazon and the deserts of Australia, every rock, river, and star held a spirit and a story. Their worldview wasn't a collection of myths. It was a living, breathing reality. The shaman, the medicine man, the Eldavis weren't just figures of authority. They were conduits to the spirit world. They were the ones who could interpret the signs, read the omens, and receive the prophecies that would guide their people. Imagine a community facing a devastating drought. While we might look to meteorology, they would look to the sky for a sign from the rain spirits, perform sacred rituals passed down for centuries, and listen to the wisdom of a prophet who dreamt of a distant verdant valley. This dream wouldn't be dismissed as a fantasy. It would be treated as a divine instruction, a sacred map. The entire tribe, based on this spiritual guidance, might undertake a perilous journey, abandoning their ancestral lands in search of this promised new home. This is a crucial point. Prophecy wasn't passive, it was a catalyst for action. It gave communities the courage to face unimaginable challenges, the unity to act as one, and the hope that sustained them through hardship. The prophecy became a self-fulfilling one, not through magic, but through the sheer power of collective belief and unified effort. We see this pattern repeated across countless cultures. The prophecies of the Hopi people, for instance, are incredibly complex, detailing a series of worlds and a path of spiritual development. These prophecies have guided their agricultural practices, their village layouts, and their societal rules for thousands of years, ensuring their survival in the harsh Arizona landscape. They weren't just predicting the future. They were creating a sustainable way of life based on their spiritual understanding of the world. Think about the concept of a chosen people or a sacred destiny. This belief, often originating from a foundational prophecy, is one of the most powerful motivators in human history. It can bind a tribe together with an unbreakable sense of identity and purpose. When a community believes they are divinely guided to protect a sacred site or to carry a particular spiritual tradition, they will endure anything to fulfill that mission. This belief system informed everything: who they could marry, how they resolved conflicts, which battles they fought, and which alliances they forged. A prophecy might foretell that a neighboring tribe would bring ruin, leading to generations of conflict. Conversely, it might predict that an alliance with that same tribe would bring prosperity, leading to peace and cultural exchange. The prophecies acted as a form of ancient geopolitics, where the will of the spirits was the ultimate law, shaping the social and political landscape in ways we are only just beginning to understand. But what happens when these beliefs are forgotten, or when the prophecies seem to fail? This is often where we see the most dramatic turns in a civilization's history. Consider a tribe whose entire existence is based on the prophecy of an eternal golden age. When faced with a new, unforeseen threat like a foreign disease or an invading force with superior technology, their spiritual foundation can be shaken to its core. The failure of the prophecy can lead to a crisis of faith, a societal collapse, or a desperate search for new meaning. In some cases, this leads to the birth of new prophets and new spiritual movements, attempting to reinterpret the old beliefs in light of the new reality. This is the dynamic, ever-evolving nature of spiritual history. It's not a static set of rules, but a continuous dialogue between a people, their environment, and their understanding of the cosmos. These moments of crisis and reinvention are incredibly revealing, showing us the profound resilience of the human spirit and our innate need for meaning and guidance. These ancient ways of knowing also contained immense practical wisdom, often disguised in the language of myth and prophecy. A spiritual belief that a certain mountain was a slumbering god, for example, might have prevented the tribe from mining its slopes, inadvertently protecting a vital watershed that sustained their farms in the valley below. A prophecy foretelling a great flood every 7 generations might have been a form of long-term environmental memory, ensuring the community built their settlements on high ground. This was a holistic science, where spirituality, ecology, and community survival were one and the same. The mystics and prophets were also the ecologists, the historians, and the planners. They were observing the natural world with a depth and patience that we, in our fast-paced world, have largely lost. By dismissing their beliefs as mere superstition, we risk overlooking a wealth of accumulated knowledge about sustainable living and our place within the natural order. As we look back, it becomes clear that these spiritual forces were not just a footnote to history. They were the main text. They were the engine of change, the glue of society, and the lens through which our ancestors saw the world. They revealed a human experience that was richer, more mysterious, and more deeply connected to the unseen than we can easily imagine. Pondering these forgotten influences invites us to ask bigger questions about our own time. What are the unseen forces shaping our society today? What are our modern prophecies, the economic forecasts, the scientific predictions, the technological promises that guide our collective actions? Perhaps by understanding the power that belief held for ancient tribes, we can better understand the beliefs that drive us now, and more consciously choose the future we wish to create. The whispers of the past are not silent, they are waiting for us to listen. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the mystical heart of history. If you found this exploration fascinating, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel for more deep dives into the forgotten corners of our human story. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you won't miss our next adventure. What are your thoughts on the power of belief in shaping history? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, stay curious.